Did you know a technical chart is a representation of human behavior? Where do you come in as a trader? This is how you find the deal in trading. Just because a news came out doesn't mean you respond. That portion right there is your sweet spot. We're going to take it from the top. We're going to break it down into several layers of these things. So let's get started. We're going to break this up into few pieces. Piece number one, what is this all about? For this particular example, we're using FX, right? We're going to use the Forex market. And we're going to talk about, well, what is this all about? And where do you come in as a trader? Okay. It is to allow an individual to partake in order for him or her to make money from the markets. So now, when does this risk come that you're being involved in is a game of transactions? Now, what does that mean? I'm going to use another word for you. Transactions or deals. Now, what is a deal? Let's say this is you. When you're looking as an individual, I'm going to just change the word and I'm going to remove this for the time being. I'm going to remove that out of the picture and I'm just going to make you focus. This is you and you do real estate. Now, your understanding of deal is basically there's 1 billion houses on the planet. You have in your pocket 1 million. There's so many houses to buy. Which one do I buy? As a real estate individual, suddenly you get a phone call or listen, Bob, let's say that's your name. There's a bunch of millionaires moving over to Dubai and they're specifically interested in the Palm Islands. Why are they relocating there, you say? You do some research and you say, Dubai has recently opened their visa criteria. You're like, that's interesting. So that's going to attract a lot of high stakes individuals. This is not a guess from your size. This is real data. Once you understand all this thing and you're like, when is that law going to be passed that's going to allow all these millionaires to start coming in? That's a deal. Now, in this whole process, did you see me do anything like this and saying, that's why we buy, because a line has been crossed? You didn't see me do anything like that, right? Because that's not how deals work. That's not how people flow their money around. You have to understand that. Did you know a technical chart is a representation of human behavior? So if you want to do good in technical analysis, which many of you guys are actually proficient in technical analysis, never let me take that away from you, but you seem to have a lack of understanding of why is it there to begin with? What does it represent? Let's study that first. Suddenly your technical analysis will become 50 times sharper. You'll start to realize that technical analysis now is like a gold mine for you. But without the knowledge of why am I using it, it's actually useless because you don't know if it's a deal or not. Does that make sense? Now, let's move on to the next piece. If everything is about deals, and now let's come back to the FX market, because I used the real estate to give you an example for you to understand. Now, what tells you a deal is hot? Before I give you the example and how it works in trading, let me ask you this. Did you just buy whatever by just walking into the nearest store and saying, I'll take that. I don't know what it is. I'll buy it. What made you buy it? You read the reviews and you saw someone else said good things about it that made you want to buy it. And then you're like, the deal must be hot. I'll buy it. Does that make sense? This is similarly, if the price is very low and the reviews are bad, I don't care how low the price is, you're not going to buy it, right? Let's be honest. So now, if you keep those things in mind, you're doing the same thing in trading. But in trading, all you're doing is technical analysis. Where is the deal? This is how you find the deal in trading.
Now, are you curious about the exact strategy Navin has been using to approach the markets? The Mastering Price Action course reveals all of that. In that course, you're going to understand the logic behind each price action movement. And from that, you will be able to take your trading to the next level by having a much more solid understanding of the markets. And because you're a subscriber, just click on the link in the description below to access our exclusive discount. Time to take your trading to the next level. All right, let's get back to the video.
So let's say you like Euro, okay? Let's say on the news today at 12, there's a Euro news. Then at 1:30, there's a Euro news. Then at 2, there's a Euro news. So it seems like they're going to be talking about Euro, right? So if Euro seems to be on the spotlight for today, what happens is, let's say the news comes out and this is the price and this is where the news came out. What happened? Next news comes out. What happened? Nothing. Just because a news came out doesn't mean you respond. A news came out, nothing happened, means there is no deal on the table that people want. Stand by. Now, if you want it, I want it, Lisa wants it, Sally wants it, and if we all buy with our $10, $20 of investment, that price is not going to move. So forget about Lisa, John, Bob, and Harry. What you want deal flow from the large corporations that says, that's the one we want it now. Next news comes out. This news event happens here, and the price does this. Now, this tells you your first clue, intention. It tells you your second clue. If it stabilizes, it tells you direction. These are important pieces for you to understand. Is there a deal on the table? As of right now, all I know is intention and direction, but no deal yet. But I do know this is like that Dubai thing happening. Everyone is heading there. That's where the action is. That's where the money is. Now we come in as traders and saying, where do we fit into this? How do we get a deal from this? Until this point, anyone who's activating anything in that area is simply shooting himself in the foot and everyone on all the floors below, right? It's just a losing game to play that. That is a liquidity game for unfortunate people. Now, with a launch this way, you've got the intention, you've got the direction. Now, I want you to think this way, okay? There's two sides of thinking that comes along with this. Side number one, this is the bad thinking. What's the bad thinking? I missed it. That's the uneducated thinking. The second thinking, the good one, this is now I know. What that means is it's telling you their intention right now. Now, moving forward, intention and direction is fit. What you need to understand is what this represents is demand. What a demand basically means is there is 40,000 people with a bunch of money saying, based on whatever Euro news that just came out, if I want this, you want this, the big corporations wants this, what's going to happen is we're going to fight. How do we fight? I'll give you this price. The next guy says, forget that guy, I'll give you this price. The next guy says, forget both of them, I'll give you this price. What I want you to remember from this launch of a move is majority didn't get filled. So if they didn't get filled, what are they going to do about it? This is where the deal is now being watched by traders like us. That's you in a distance with a telescope. You're watching very carefully and you're saying, if they really want it, I want to see. Now tell me one thing here. If you see price immediately afterwards doing this, tell me about the intentions of the people. Do they want it? No, doesn't seem like they want it. Does it? Why is it dropping? Why is the price crashing down? If they don't want it, you don't want it. So you say, cancel. The deal is off. So if the demand has disappeared, it's not a deal. I need the demand to be there. So what that looks like in technical analysis terms is this. You get a jagged move down. Now, as the jagged move comes down, you are now watching this with extra excitement because now a deal is developing because you know this is something people want and you know you're about to get this at a better price. If I can buy this at a decent price, I can sell it to all of these people who desperately want it at a premium price. Does that make sense? Let's go deeper. As the discount is coming in, okay, this is called the discount phase. Everyone's looking at this and saying, let me see what's the best deal I can get. And then suddenly you see this out of nowhere, bam. And you're like, the intentions are hot. The players are back. I got to get my hands on this because everyone's wanting to get their hands on this. The prices are going to rise again. If I can get my hands on whatever this price is, whatever that price is, then as things go out of control, I can sell it at a premium price later. And this difference is going to be my profit. Because if this price, let's call it $1, just to make it simple, and if price goes upwards, it's obviously going to be more than $1, right? Whatever that number is above is your profit because you can sell it to someone you know wants to buy it. They have a whole different operation for why they need the euro. Not everyone is looking to become a trader in their life. People travel, they exchange money, interest rates move around. What am I going to do with all my European properties? I got to sell them off. I got to move it. You need to understand that. Okay. So you are able to sell at a premium because you're able to determine there's a deal on the table that I need to get good at. And your how is in this area. This is where you focus your hows. Now I'm going to throw you some of the wonderful technical analysis. People will look at this and say, you know what? It went up because it's a 50% discount. Many people will say, oh, it's going up because you see, if I draw a trend line like this, the trend line broke, and from the other side of the trend line, the prices go up. It was a trend line break test. You tell me, is that why the price went up? You're smarter now. You understand why that design is being formed that's making all the YouTube technical junkies to say, that's why it went up. Good for you. But you now know. You have a better understanding of when can I use this trend line break, when can I use my Fibonacci stuff, and when I should avoid it when there's no deals. You got to be smarter. You can't just be a how junkie, and you can learn it all. And I'm going to now move on to the charts while you type, and I'm going to show you how my team today traded the Japanese yens. I'm going to show you. I'm going to pull that up. Now, you can see from this chart, the angle is in an upward angle. Now, how steep the angle is makes a difference. Okay. Now, when I say how steep the angle is, I don't mean is this at a 30-degree angle? This means something. Is this at a 45-degree angle? What I want you to understand by the word steep is represents the price keeps rising. That's what steep means. Okay. If the angle is like this, or if the angle is like this, okay? Now, I want you to tell me the difference between the two. Is this an up angle and is this an up angle? 1 and 2. They're both up angles, right? What this angle means is both of them, the price is rising higher and higher, but there's one key difference is how fast is the price rising higher and higher. The faster the price rises higher, the more you need to understand desperation in the market. The demand for it is boiling hot versus when the angle is less angled upwards. Price is going higher, but the desperation is not so high because it's taking longer to go higher. So time is an element. So far, so good? Now, once you understand it, so in this particular case is from the 10th till the 12th, this was catching everybody's eye. And this was not just happening in euro yen. This is happening across all the Japanese yens. Okay. In this case, since this is called euro yen, this represents euro is getting strong and Japanese yen is getting weak. All the yens are going upwards. Okay. Now, correlation, when I use the word across the board, what that word across the board means is euro yen up, pound yen up, dollar yen up. That's what I mean by across the board. That means a lot of them seem to be having that same look. If a lot of them seem to be having that same look, you need to start to understand this isn't just a euro yen thing, just yen. Like the world is dumping the yens for whatever reason it might be. And you're like, I'm a trader. I'm not going to make stuff up. I need a deal. If I can get my hands on a deal, we can make some money. So how do we do that? First, we've identified the direction, the intention. Now we're on alert. Remember, that's you. This binocular is pointing there. So you're looking at this and you're saying, I see the demand, but I can't do anything about it because you didn't miss it. You needed that to happen first because now you know. And now the question begins on, where's my deal? Now that I know what the world wants, I don't got time for research. I know what the world wants. I need a piece of that action. I want to deal in something that is worth buying. Okay? That's your job. Whether you're buying a banana, a property, whatever you're doing, it's the same thing. Now, as prices start to come down, they hover and they start to pull in. Now, how much do you need it to pull in? Now that has Remember, this is now we're getting into the how part. As the prices are starting to come down, tell me this. There's one thing I want you to understand. I'm going to give you a little shortcut. Anything that goes upwards, think of it from a buyer's perspective. Anything that goes down, I want you to think of it not as a seller. I want you to think of it as a store owner on the sell side, and anything that goes up, think of it as a buyer. Now, I'm going to divide half of the room. Pick a letter in your mind. Letter A, you're on team A. Letter B, you're on team B. Okay, just pick a letter in your mind. Team A, you guys are buyers. Team B, you guys are store owners. Now, if the price is going up this drastically, team B, you guys are the ones that are selling the euro yen. You're selling it. You're saying, I want to sell it. I have too much. And team A is the buyers. With the speed the buyers are gobbling up the euro yen, I want to ask one question from team B. Would you give a discount if you know the intention? There's no reason to give a discount, so you are tiptoeing until someone jumps back in. Tell me, did the buyers jump back in here? Okay, this is for the store owners. You gave a little bit of a discount. You gave a 5% discount, and you're seeing, did the buyers jump back in? You're all saying no. The buyers did not jump back in, right? All of you buyers, team A, let me ask you this question. When you saw a discount coming down at this speed, would you want to buy, or would you say, hey, maybe I can get a better deal? You have to think of it both ways. Does that make sense? So the buyer will obviously look at the speed of that and saying, I can get more. You tiptoe again, give a little bit more discount. Buyer buys a little bit. You tiptoe, 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 bam, you drop the price. Where the damn buyers go? They were shoving it in their underwear for the longest time. Now I can't see any signs of them. You are forced to give a discount. Meanwhile, the trader, you, with that telescope, when you're watching this thing, you're like, the deal is getting a discount, but no sign of the buyers yet. Stand by, Charlie. Stand by. No signs of them yet. I don't want to get involved if I do not see the deal coming back to life. Buyers are saying, hey, they're giving a discount. Let them. I don't care. When the discount tiptoes its way, this sign generally represents a first higher low. Okay, now I'm talking technical language. What's a first higher low? Which means if this is the lowest point, and then this is the lowest point, and then this is the lowest point. These are all lows, right? Lower low, lower low, lower low. A first higher low is when this is the lowest point and the price is higher. Okay, you don't know what a lowest point is until this portion comes out, until that right side comes out. And then you're like, wait a minute, it was doing this, and then now this? Why is that higher? What does the store owner know that I don't know? Is he seeing something? What does he see? How do I know? What's going on? So essentially means is the store owner is backing off with the discounts, and team A starts gobbling up the prices. Now you tell me, Mr. Store Owners, when you see this, what are you going to do now with your discounts that you've been offering them? You're not going to give them a penny of a discount. You're like, I gave you a discount before. No more discount. It's over. You buy premium now. This is where you come in this sector here. That portion right there is your sweet spot. Okay. Now, when you go to buy anything, how do you know the valuation of something? You got to find that sweet spot. Where is the spot you can get in, whether you get in here, where you can say, I don't care where I get in that angle and how much premium I pay in that angle. I know I can still make money. That's a position you want to be in with deals all the time, where you can say, I know no matter which one of these premium prices I pay, I will make money off of this thing. So again, reeling this in and saying, did this thing go up because this is a SNR? Did this thing go up because it's at a 50% retracement exactly? It's a mathematical phenomena. Okay. Did this thing go up because a trend line was broken here, and this is on the other side of a trend line, and therefore it's a buy? And if that's what you believe in, then I want to know next time you buy a house, how many lines you drew before you said, I'm going to buy this house because on a piece of paper, I drew a few lines and the line was broken, so I need to buy the house. I want to see you do that. I want to see you put your life savings behind a line that you draw and saying, that's why I bought it. It's because it was a phenomena. It's not a phenomena. It has logic behind it. It's a deal. You are putting your money on the line because you understand something. If you don't understand it, your money should never be at risk. Never. That's a waste of money. Don't guess. Does that make sense? So what's more important is if you're going to get into this industry, everything that I'm telling you not for you to just study endlessly. Learn to apply it. Practice it. Open it up on your demo account and see how much of this logic does it click with you? Does it resonate with you? So I want you to be the best trader that you can be, and don't take no for an answer from anybody. Thanks a lot, ladies and gentlemen. Until next time. Cheers. Bye for now.